Tips and Tricks Tuesday, another one for the month of May. This week, I thought we'd talk a little bit about relaxation. Talked about sleep last week and having a good sleep routine. Well, to get to sleep, you have to relax, and you need to relax throughout the day. We all live very, very stressful lives. Some of it is stress beyond our control. Something, quite frankly, we're never going to get away from stress. But we can try to minimize its impact on us to the best of our ability. I've talked before about what stress does to our digestion. Essentially, it shuts it down when we're under severe stress. But if we're under a low level of stress all the time, that doesn't help our digestion either. Our bodies may not recognize that we're always stressed. We know what it feels like a lot of times when we're under a lot of stress, tense and our backs hurt or our necks hurt or, stomach pains, lots of different ways that we know when we're under severe stress how that manifests. But a lot of us live under a low level of stress all the time. And so consequently, perhaps we are never digesting to the best of our ability because we're always under that low level of stress. So today I just wanted to share 5 ways that I like to reduce stress. And some of them are obvious, and a couple of them I was kind of researching a little bit on some new ideas and came up with a couple of interesting ones that I would never have thought of. So I would say the most obvious way to reduce stress is some deep breathing. I have a technique that I share with my clients that is not new. I did not make up. In fact, a lot of my clients who have done meditation or who have done yoga are familiar with this technique. It's called the 5-5-7 breath. It's very simple, which is obviously key. It's taking 5 seconds to inhale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhaling over 7 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So inhale 5, hold 5, exhale for 7. Now, ideally, to do this about 10 times only takes a couple of minutes, literally like 2 minutes. And it tricks your brain into thinking you are relaxed. So I typically recommend this to clients before they sit down to eat. Again, when we're thinking in terms of digestion, we want to be at a place when we are eating where we are fully digesting our food. And so if you can, right before you sit down to eat, if you can actually run through the 5-5-7 breath for 2 minutes, which on one hand sounds like a really long time, especially if you're sitting down with other people. But if you're at your desk at work, well, hopefully you're not at your desk at work. Let's just put that out there. If you're in your break room at work, if you're eating by yourself, I have one client who is actually doing it with her family as they prepare for food to eat, as they prepare for dinner. Whatever, 2 minutes is ideal. That being said, I often run through this practice within a session where I count down 10 times of the 5-5-7 breath. And then I ask my clients how they feel and at what point did they feel relaxed. And pretty much at about 3 or 4 times, they're already noticing the stress sort of leave their body. So if you are not in a place where you have 2 minutes and you're feeling stressed because of work or traffic or your kids or fill in the blank, do the 5-5-7 breath a couple of times. And if nothing else, it centers you and it makes you aware of the fact that you're in a stressful situation and that you need to try to bring it down a notch. So 5-5-7 breath. If anyone is interested, I have actually recorded a voice memo of me counting it out 10 times. So you don't have to do the counting on your fingers. I've done that for you. It runs about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So if you're interested in me sending that to you, again, drop me a message or something. You can email me at transformationforreal@gmail.com and send me your email address, and I will shoot that voice memo over to you. Another way to relax is to get organized. I was talking about this with a client, this week, I think, and they were talking about how they love to organize and have everything straightened up. And that's totally my husband. I mean, he's a very clean person to begin with and keeps the house straightened up along with me. But when he is getting ready to sit down and write or work on some new music or whatever, I always know because he makes sure everything is sort of in its place. We have 2 kids and we got a lot of things going on. So I'm the type of person that goes around and organizes and straightens everything up before we go to bed, and he does too. But before he can sit down to create anything, he absolutely has to have the place straightened up. And one, that sets your mind in the right way, but I think it's also a stress reliever before he's going to sit down and create. So think about maybe some areas that you could organize in a quick 5-minute period. Is it the papers on your desk? Is it the bills? Have they been piling up? Is it the dishes? Think of a few quick, maybe 5-minute organizational places, and that's a great way to release some stress. Another big one, and I'm not great at journaling. I wish I was, but I'm not. However, I do find that a brain dump when I'm stressed out is incredibly helpful. So literally grabbing any piece of paper I can find, doesn't have to look good, doesn't have to be neat. I may not even keep it. It may not be used as something to look back on the way I think a lot of times journaling is, or writing in a diary. But if there is a lot going on in my head, sitting down and just putting it all on paper, and it doesn't have to look pretty, and the handwriting doesn't have to be great, and it can be free thought, doesn't even have to be complete sentences, but getting everything that's going on up here on paper, then it's done. Throw it away if you want. Crumple it up and throw it away. But the brain dump is an incredible way to reduce the stress and shut your brain off from agonizing over whatever is going on. Talking to a friend is a great way of releasing stress. If you have somebody that you could contact, maybe send a quick text, hey, do you have a few minutes? I just need to process something. Whatever it might be, that's a really great way. It's another version of the brain dump in some ways, to be able to just get it all out. You could meditate, you could try to work through it in your head. I just think there's something more powerful about getting it down on paper or out of your mouth. Like, I don't know, there's a literal release either through your fingers as you're writing or through your mouth as you're talking. And people who are talkative are generally more happy than people that keep it all in. Again, that idea of tamping it down and trying to hold it down. Nobody wants to hear my problems. Okay, I'm sure you have a friend who's willing to be your sounding board, who really, and you may even want to, preface it like, I don't need any advice. I don't need you to help me, tell me what to do. I just need this out. I need to get it out of my head. I just need a sounding board. I just need somebody to listen to me. That's what coaches do too. Just FYI. So that's another way. And then the one way that I think is that I learned about that I did not know, but I think it's fun. And especially as we move into the summer season and we're wanting to get out and eat more fruits and vegetables, mango. Mango has a relaxation property to it. So I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure I said this correctly. Mangoes have a compound called linalool, Linalool, and that compound in mango helps lower stress. So I know mangoes are kind of a pain in the butt to peel and eat. So maybe it's a matter of having some fresh mango, that's already been prepared. You can buy that a lot of times in the grocery store. Frozen mango, I keep frozen mango in my refrigerator now, not only for my smoothies, but also I like to get it out. The little blocks, pretty much everybody has them now. Trader Joe's has a really nice big bag. Target has some under their Simply whatever organic brand. I let it sit out just long enough to not be rock hard, but still have some of that frozenness. So it's like having frozen grapes or whatever. It's just a really nice little fun treat, especially with warm days coming up. So now I know that it also helps relieve stress. So that's kind of awesome. So 557 breath. Let me know if you want my voice memo of it. Organize. Just think of some things. Maybe make a little note. Make a little to-do list of little tiny 5-minute projects that you could use the next time you're feeling stressed and could utilize. Again, getting something done like that's also motivating as well. Brain dump, whether it is on paper or with a friend, and then get some frozen mango. Go out and get some frozen mango and use that not only as a nice, healthy little snack that can be your sweet, but also knowing that it has some compound in it that will help reduce stress as well. So that's some tips and tricks for relaxation here in the month of May. Yet again, more self-care. And then next week, come back and I'm going to talk a little bit about why having a coach. Maybe me, maybe another type of coach, but why having a coach is a really great way of self-care. And I'll be announcing a new program that I am offering as well. So I look forward to seeing you back here for the very last tips and tricks of May and self-care month. Have a great week.